What's going on? I just wanted to kick it with you this morning and just be real. I'm up here visiting my mother and some of my family members up in Michigan, where I'm from, born and raised in the D. And, with all this craziness going on as far as with, right now you got election stuff going on. You got people struggling to take care of their families and pay their bills. And I talk to a lot of men and women around the country who are, I'm not going to say depressed, but they're extremely concerned about what the prospects for tomorrow look like. And one thing I wanted to jump on here and just say this morning, and I want you to really carry with you, is in this phrase, and you may have heard it before, and that's that the gift. Like, the reason why right now was called the present moment, because it truly is a gift from the Most High God, because everything we need to be able to progress into the next moment can only be done here. Here's what I mean. We talk about, let's say you got a bill due next week. You got something coming up next month. You're concerned about where you're going to be at next year. I want you to stop and think about something. The only time ever at any given time is right now. Because when it does get to tomorrow, and it's whatever time it is right now, 9, 10 something, it'll still be right now. Whenever it does get to next week, whenever that time comes for you to pay whatever you got to pay or do whatever you got to do, it'll still only be right now. Whenever it becomes next year, a year from now on July the 26th, 2025 at 10:15 in the morning, it'll still be right now. And I'm not sure if you following what I'm saying. Is the timepieces, the watches and the calendars was just man's way of trying to capture moments in time. But in reality, there is only right now. And within right now, you have every single thing you need to be able to progress yourself and build yourself. If you know you got a bill due or something coming up next week, you can sit up and you can whine about it. You can be scared about it. You can wake up out of your sleep thinking about it. Or you can take advantage of the moments you have right now to try to figure out a plan or a potential way that you can either take care of that, schedule that out, or resolve it, whatever it is you have to do. But it only happens right now. Because I can remember years ago, before I really embraced this concept, we'd have bills due, we'd have stuff going on, and man, some of them nights would be sleepless. Especially it was before I got into the automotive sales business, and even when I first got in it, man, we were struggling. You talk about living paycheck to paycheck. It was beyond that. You know how sometimes you got to push that bill off to the next month because you'd have made all your money for the month, but you got more bills and more time in the month than you got money. So you got to push that cell phone bill off or whatever bill, or pay that rent late, or whatever it is you had to do. I can remember that. And I'm talking about staying up late, waking up, just stressing about it. And then guess what? When I finally embraced the concept, because I could stress all I want, and guess what? Either the issue wasn't resolved and we had to deal with it when it came upon us, or, I decided to do something about it and got it resolved. But as I started to embrace, like, damn, Brian, you can bitch, moan, whine, and cry about it. Or you could say, okay, right now, what can I do today to try to resolve this matter or get this matter right? And that's whether it's making a phone call to somebody, whether it's reading something, whatever it is. So with everything going on, with the uncertainty about who's going to be in the White House, and remember this, they promote the presidential elections because it's sexy, but in reality, your local elections have far more impact on your day-to-day life. Who your mayor is, who your state senator is, who your city council is. Most people don't have any idea who their city council is, who their state senators are, even who their senators are that represent them in Washington. But everybody's excited about the presidency and getting pissed off over who likes Trump and who likes Biden, or who likes Harris and who likes Trump. At the end of the day, they do that to keep you focused on that shiny thing, because they know if we put as much energy into the local elections as people do in the presidential federal ones, some real change will be being made. So don't panic and don't fret. And please realize this: I don't care if you're a school teacher, I don't care if you're a doctor, if you're a parent, if you're in customer service, if you're in cooking, and ultimately if you've embraced the actual title of sales, regardless of what all of those things are. Every single person, from the moment that you and I were born, we're born into sales, and I'll prove it. Because every intelligent person I've ever shared this with told me they never thought about it like this, and they'll never look at it the same again. Understand something. From the moment that you were born, I was born, your parents, my parents, every human that was blessed to be born on God's green earth is born into sales, and I'll prove it to you. Because when a baby cries, it's trying to be picked up, be fed, to have a diaper change. That's a sales call. Every relationship you've been in, you weren't the only person that thought that individual was attractive. You were one of many willing takers. But yet you sold yourself in a way that this individual said, I want to be in a relationship with them. I want to start a family with them. I'd like to have children with them. Any place of employment that you've been, you weren't the only candidate. You were one of hundreds, if not thousands. Like when I'm doing my campaigns at different dealerships and dealer groups around the country, I literally get 300, 400, 500 people applying to this position at a dealership. So just imagine whether it be Walmart or UPS or Publix or whatever major chain or whatever outlet you can think about. Sometimes there's thousands of candidates, but guess what? You went in there and you sold your skill set in a way that company said we get the highest rate of return on our investment with this person over anybody else. In a relationship, every day you go home, you're selling your love to that significant other. You're selling the fact that you can be trustworthy. Now, as a parent, you're selling to that child your wisdom, your love, and your advice. Now, here's the flip side. If you stop selling your love, your wisdom to your children, or if they're not buying what you're selling, guess who they listen to? The streets or the TV, which is what we don't want. At home, if you stop selling to your significant other that you love them and that you're trustworthy, guess what'll happen? They'll leave. At your place of business, if you stop selling your skill set and selling the value that you add to that company, guess what happens? You get fired. As a teacher, if you stop selling that information and how these things could benefit the children and they stop buying it, guess what? They'll flunk the test. You'll get fired and their lives will be negatively affected. I mean, as a matter of fact, even sitting in a house by yourself saying, you know what, man, I'm not doing anything today. You've sold yourself that was the best option for you to do at that moment than anything else. And if you pissed off and you're throwing stuff around, you're selling that you're upset and whatever your reason as to why. You see, we can't escape it. People say, well, Brian, how's a doctor in sales? Because they can have all the degrees in the world. But if they can't give somebody a good reason to come and trust their medical expertise, or if they misdiagnose somebody and it kills them or makes them sicker, guess what? All of those degrees on that wall just become good kindling for for a fire. That's it. If you're horrible at selling the information or your love and your trust to your children, guess what? They're not buying your brand. So sales is in every aspect of life. You had to sell yourself on watching this video, especially when you saw the amount of minutes on it. You know, most ignorant people, when I say ignorant, just means lacking knowledge. When they see a video over a minute long and it intimidates them, and how in the world do we believe we're going to TikTok our way to success, or Instagram video our way to success, or even just YouTube video our way to success? Watching YouTube videos and watching all this stuff is cool, but you want to make sure that you're being involved with reading books, listening to audio programs, being involved with courses, going to workshops, whether it be online or offline. Sir Isaac Newton said it best. He said, if I'm able to see further than others, it's because I stood on the shoulders of giants. It's like the salespeople that I interact with, that I work with globally. These folks have spoken and talked to different people and tried different programs, but they listen to a video like this. They feel the sincerity. And then when they go and check out the sales programs and the trainings that I have available, the one thing everybody says is like, you know what, Brian, I wish I'd have heard about you earlier, because sales is psychological and it's not hard. It's not rocket science. And I don't care what aspect of life you're in. You have to be able to identify a problem, be a solution provider, and bridge the gap between people who have a need and a product or service that can help them resolve that. Facts. I don't care what it is. Even if you're in the restaurant business, you're identifying people have a need, they're hungry. And so you have to create food products that will help satisfy that need for people, then give them a good enough reason to come in. So if you're somebody that is sick and tired of walking over dollars to pick up dimes, you're sick of living paycheck to paycheck, it doesn't have to be that way. And let me be straight with you. I'm not saying that you're going to have the magic ticket and you're going to make $1 million in a year. That would be a lie. Now, you can have the potential based on the information that's within the membership. I have a membership site. It's called Selling for Success. Selling, the number 4, and the word success, all one. Selling for Success. Selling, the number, this is the word selling, the number 4, and then success. And in this portal, it's taking people that were making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and that are making over $100,000 a year. Not 5-6 years ago. We talking about in 2023. And there are thousands that are on track in 2024 to double up and triple up on the best they've ever done, ever. And it's not some long, super drawn out thing or some magic wand. They listen and they follow. It's as simple as that. If you can listen and then you can follow, I laid out the blueprint for you. You just have to apply it. And see, at the end of the day, we always talk about reinventing the wheel. It's not about reinventing the wheel. Sometimes it's about tweaking it to make it fit for you. So you should start treating yourself instead of cheating yourself. If you're sick and tired of walking over dollars to pick up dime, if you're sick and tired of being paycheck to paycheck, I invite you and encourage you to check out the Selling for Success sales training portal. It has courses, it has audio programs, it has downloadable digital books. Everything is immediately accessible for you. And I assure you, if you just listen and just digest the psychology behind it and realize just how simple it is to transform your life to another level and to be able to sell your way into whatever position, into whatever financial status, whatever it is that you're looking for. But the first thing you have to do is identify, because you can't track what you can't measure. Can't track what you can't measure. And a lot of people dislike setting a target because they say, I don't want to set a ceiling for myself. No, they don't want to be held accountable. See, the thing with people in goals is not that we set our goals too high and we miss them. It's that most people set their goals too low and they hit them every time. It's like when I ask people, man, how much money you trying to make? They say, well, as long as I'm making enough money to pay my bills. Well, no, because isn't that the problem? Don't you get sick of just working to make money to pay your bills? So why, when given the opportunity to speak that, would you speak that into existence just to make enough money to pay your bills? Because then it was like, damn, man, it's like I'm just working to pay the bills. That's what you asked for. Or people say, well, at my last job I made as long as I make more than my last job. So if you made $1 more than you did at your last job, and then people will be complaining, I'd say, hold on now, get to the root cause of it. You did it. This is what you said. Words have power. There's power in the tongue. You have to know that. And so every time you call yourself broke, every time you talk about what you don't have, every time you talk about what you don't want, every time you talk about what you wish you had, that is lack. You're giving out the energy of lack. But when you can visualize what it is you want with the expectation of receiving it, but making sure that you put in the work, faith without works is dead. So I highly encourage you, put the pedal to the metal. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. Give yourself an opportunity. And one thing I'm asking you to do is to forgive yourself. Anything that's happened in the past, the beautiful thing about this moment here is that yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But the gift to the power inside of you is the now, the present. It's the present. That's why it's called the present, because it is a gift. And so I just wanted to jump on and talk to you for a second and give an update. It's been a minute. I've been traveling so much, and I hadn't posted in about a week and a half, 2 weeks of video or so. So I'm gonna be throwing out some content because I'm gonna be off the road for the next few days. But Brian Maxwell, man, looking forward to seeing you at the top and at the dealership. Over and out.